G'day guys, Sam Darby here. Today I'm with the lovely Justine McDonald from Nectar Home Loans and Finance, and we wanted to talk to you about the first home
loan deposit scheme.
It is such a mouthful. I need to bring in an expert just to say it. Justine, what is it?
Oh, well, we're still getting our head around it. It hasn't actually quite kicked off yet. Starts on the 1st of January. Applications aren't open yet. I'll run through sort of the eligibility and what it's all about. At the moment, as a first home buyer, you go to get a loan. Maximum you can get as a loan is 95% of the value. So you've got to come up with 5% plus the costs. Now, one of those costs is very expensive lender's mortgage insurance. And on a $700,000 property, you're probably going to pay somewhere between $25,000 and $30,000 of LMI. So the government has come up with this new scheme, which means if you've still only got a 5% deposit, you can actually avoid the LMI because they're going to guarantee to the banks, or provide a guarantee that replaces the need for the LMI. So it's a massive saving. Now this is only going to be available for 10,000 loans per financial year, which means it's about 10% of the first home buyer market. So it's going to be very popular. At the moment, the only lender that's signed up for it and been announced under the scheme is the NAB. We are waiting on other banks to be announced. Obviously, not everybody will meet the NAB's credit policy and servicing, so we definitely need more lenders to come on board. So who can apply? Obviously, it is for first home buyers. It is only eligible for Australian citizens. So if you're a permanent resident, unfortunately, unless you have your citizenship, you won't be able to apply. There are a few caps we need to be aware of. The first one is an income cap. So for a single, your taxable income needs to be no more than $125,000, and if you're a couple, no more than $200,000. Now the other cap is the purchase price cap. So in New South Wales, the cap in the capital city, so Sydney and regional centres, is set at $700,000. So if you're buying a house over that, you won't be able to apply for a loan under the scheme. In other parts of the state, it's $450,000. So it's a little bit limiting, but there's still some property out there at that $700,000 mark that is going to be suitable. So that leads me to the next point. What type of property can you buy? Well, under the scheme, you're allowed to buy an established house, unit or townhouse. You can also purchase an off-the-plan townhouse or unit. You can buy a house and land package, and you can buy land with a separate build contract. So there's not too many restrictions around what you can buy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they're giving you a huge amount of flexibility around what sort of property. If I look at all the first homeowner schemes that have been in place ever since I've been in real estate, we've seen $7,000, we've seen $15,000 new builds, we've seen new builds only, we've seen so many
it's a little bit complicated. And actually I'm glad you raised that, because the stamp duty concession of first homeowners grant schemes that are already in existence at a state level are still going to be able to be accessed in conjunction with this first home loan deposit scheme. So that's a really big leg up. So let's have a look at it. We've already talked about a $25,000 LMI saving. If you're buying in New South Wales at $700,000 and you're a first home buyer, you're saving $16,500 on stamp duty, because you're only paying between the $650 threshold and the $700 mark. So that's actually a $16,500 saving. So you combine that with the saving on the LMI, and it's a $40,000 plus leg up for a first home buyer. So it's really exciting.
So obviously there's a number of concessions available. So let's take it to the absolute extreme here. That someone was really, really saving and goes, you know what, I'm going to go and get every single percent that the government's prepared to offer. So let's go and buy a brand new property under $600,000.
Yep, to get the grant.
Yep, so $10,000 grant for buying brand new. No
stamp duty,
which is $23,000 roughly.
Roughly on that, yep.
What would be the LMI on a 95% loan at $600,000?
Oh, look, it's probably in the low 20s, around the 20. So let's just make it easy, let's say 20 grand.
Okay, so we're talking $53,000.
Absolutely.
That's a 10% deposit.
I know. So, and people say, oh, it's $700,000, you can't buy anything for that, but you can. There's plenty of stuff out there. And your first home isn't going to be your only home.
Yeah. I'm going to talk about some close friends of mine, plumber and solicitor. She wants the dream home to begin with.
Not always doable.
No, like, you've got to start
somewhere, yeah.
It doesn't matter where you start, where you finish. And obviously the government's stepped in and put a whole series of different incentives in. The federal government came through with the first home loan scheme.
Home loan deposit scheme.
Yep. Still a mouthful. So there's a lot of incentives there.
Yeah.
So they're going to need some help navigating this. So how do they get in contact with you?
Well, they can give me a call on 0417 140 370 or shoot me an email at justine.mcdonald@nectarmortgages.com.au or just contact Sam and he'll pass on my details.
So I know that was a little bit of a mouthful and you may not have got it. I will drop it into the comments section for you as well. Just that way you can reach out to Justine a lot easier. Justine, thank you very much for coming on.
No problem whatsoever.
Talk soon.
Thanks.